If you're short on time and you still want to build muscle, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to build muscle in less than 30 minutes using 4 different techniques. So make sure you stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another video. So I thought I'd do this video because time and time again, I actually hear people say they don't have time to train.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth!
What if I told you you can build muscle, maximize your muscle gain in less than, well, around 2 hours or less a week? What would you say? Well, I'm going to show you the techniques to use to be able to do this. So let's start with technique number one, supersets. A 2009 study by Robbins et al. Actually found supersets to be equally as effective as traditional sets for building muscle. When I say traditional sets, I mean perform a bench press, rest 2.5 minutes, perform another bench press, repeat until you've done 4 sets. With supersets, instead of doing this, you can do 2 methods. So you can do the same muscle group, which is not something I advise. This would be something like doing like dumbbell flies with like barbell bench press, pretty much back to back, like waiting 30 seconds to a minute between each and repeating. I wouldn't advise this method. The way they did it in the study in 2009 by Robbins et al., they used opposing muscle groups. So what they'll do is chest and back, biceps and triceps, something similar to this. So what you can do is you can do the barbell bench press supersetted with barbell bent over rows, which means you've got the equipment ready, it's there for you. There's no problems of like jumping around to like trying to find the other equipment, hoping someone hasn't just hopped on while you've been doing the bench press. It's right there, you're lifting more or less the same weight. You might be able to increase a bit with a barbell row, but generally speaking, for most people, it's the same weight, give or take. So you do a set of the barbell bench press, wait 30 seconds, do a set of the barbell rows. Then I advise actually waiting a minute, then going back to the barbell bench press. You can wait a tiny bit longer, but if we're talking about to maximize efficiency and to minimize your time in the gym, I'd say wait 30 seconds between the bench press and the barbell rows. Then you would wait a minute after you finish the barbell rows before hopping back on to the bench press. Some people do 30, then back on. That's up to you. You can play around with the two, but I suggest 30, then a minute. So the next method even is called the 3-7 method. So a 2019 study by Stranger et al. Looked at this new type of method called the 3-7 method. And this is done by performing, say, 5 sets of a given exercise at around 70% of your 1 rep max. And this just entails of basically increasing the number of reps. So set number 1 would be 3 reps, set number 2 would be 4, then 5, then 6, then 7. In this study, they actually found that the 3-7 method was equally as effective when compared with a traditional method. They actually compared, I think it was 6 sets of 8 reps with a 2.5 minute rest with 2 rounds of this 3-7 method, and they found very similar gains in muscle, and obviously in literally half the time. So what I mean by rounds is you would complete like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with a given weight, then you rest 2.5 minutes, then go again. 1 round is enough to replace 4 traditional sets. That's what the research suggests anyway. So how would this look in a routine? So say if you're doing an upper body routine and a lower body routine, you could do, say, chest, back, and then you could go on to, so you do chest with this 3-7 method, back with the 3-7 method, then you could do shoulders, then triceps and biceps, all with this 3-7 method. And this will literally cut your workout time in half. And then when it comes to a legs day, you can repeat the same with the legs. You might find that this method is not necessarily, this technique or method, whatever you want to call it, is not necessarily for you. The thing is, between each set, you're resting a total of 15 seconds. And that was what was done in the study, and that's what was shown to be effective. So 15 seconds between each set. And then once you complete the 5 sets, basically from 3 to 7, then you're resting 2.5 minutes. And then you're going on to the next exercise. A technique is rest pause sets. A 2021 review by Iverson et al. Found rest pause training to be effective for muscle building and strength gains as well. In 2017, Parestis et al. Actually compared rest pause training to traditional strength training and found rest pause training to be just as effective. Rest pause sets are kind of similar to the 3-7 method, but not exactly. So what you're doing here is you're doing one set till you can't do any more, then you're doing another set till you can't do any more until you've completed the amount of reps that you were planning to do. So basically, if you were planning to do 3 sets of, let's say, 6 reps, then you would do this until you get 18 reps. You would keep the same weight and you'd rest just 20 seconds between each set. So let's take the bench press, for example. You're gonna lift 70 kilos. You do 70 kilos, as many as you can. Let's say you get 7 in the first set. You rest 20 seconds. You go back, you do 3. Then you just keep going until you've done 18 in total. That could take 3 to 4 sets, but you're just resting just that full 20 seconds, allowing just enough time to recover, and you shouldn't have to reduce the weight. This is a great way to save time, as you can imagine, and this is an effective way to build muscle. The only thing with the rest pause training I'd say to watch out for, it's pretty intense. So I'd say that if you're doing this method, you've got to have more or less 2 to 3 years of experience behind your belt, just because it gets intense. The final technique, technique number 4, we're looking at drop sets. So a 2018 study by Fink et al. Actually found drop sets to be potentially actually superior to traditional sets for muscle growth, but inferior for strength gains. So remember, this video is, we're looking to maximize the amount of muscle you can gain in the shortest amount of time. So how do you do drop sets? So drop sets are usually performed basically doing a set, just a normal set. Say you're gonna go for, I don't know, 8 reps of a bench press. You perform the 8 reps. Then you drop, say you're doing, let's just for maths sake. Actually, I wouldn't suggest doing a bench press. I'd suggest doing more just easier to change exercises, stuff like dumbbells, like a dumbbell bench press, like dumbbell press, for example, or you could use a machine even. Dumbbell press, say you perform your first set with 30 kilos. Then you're reducing the load by, you're doing this straight away, you're reducing the load by between 20 and 25%. So that brings you down to 24 kilos. And you're still doing 8 reps. So you do 8 reps for the first set at 30 kilos, 8 reps for the second set at 24 kilos. And the third set, I think that's around 18 kilos again, and you're doing 8 reps. So you're keeping the rep count the same, you're just reducing the weight by 20 to 25% each time until you've done the desired number of sets. And that's it for drop sets. It's as simple as that. But I would definitely suggest using exercises that are easier to manipulate, like machines, like tricep push downs are great for triceps, like barbell curls, probably not. Looking at dumbbell curls, if you have the dumbbells ready, you can have 3 sets of dumbbells ready. That's why you see some people have like 1 million dumbbells around them, like a collection of dumbbells. I don't suggest doing that. Just 3 to 4 drop sets. Whatever your total set count you want to cover, I suggest doing 3 sets. If you're going to do upper twice in 1 week and lower twice in 1 week, 3 sets is enough. Those are the 4 techniques, all the 4 techniques. Play around them, see what works for you, see what you prefer, and run with that. You can just mix them up as well. It's completely up to you. And when it comes to warm-ups, you're probably thinking, do I warm up, do I stretch? I like to advise everyone to do a warm-up and to stretch, but the research actually suggests that maybe stretching is not so necessary for maximizing muscle gains. And obviously, if you're short on time, probably the most important thing for you to do is a specific warm-up. So say if you're jumping on a bench press, and then maybe say you're supersetting the bench press with the barbell rows, like in our first example, then what you will do is just a lighter set, probably around 50 to 60% of your working weight with the bench press, and a lighter set with the barbell rows. Just do it with good form and just put the muscles through their range of motion and you will be fine. Obviously, if you have more time, it's preferable to do the mobility and the warm-up. I usually spend about 10 to 15 minutes doing this, but I understand we've done this video specifically for people that want to spend 2 hours or less in the gym, and I suggest just doing a specific warm-up. And you don't have to do this for every exercise. So once you've done it for a bench press, your biceps and bench press and barbell rows, your biceps and triceps as well as your shoulders, your whole upper body really will be warm enough and will be warm enough to prevent injuries. But like I said, I advise all my clients to do a mobility session, but understand you're short for time. So the workaround really is to just do the specific warm-up sets. And once you've done your main sets, your upper body is warm. And same with legs. Once you've done your main sets, the rest of your leg exercises, you don't have to do anything else because the leg muscles and the mobility is warm. And in fact, actually, if mobility is like a focus of yours, you could throw in some mobility with, say, the in between the bench press or in between the rows as rest. You could do mobility stuff between them if you're really short for time. And that's all for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please get that thumbs up button and share it with a friend. Comment below with any questions at all. If this is your first time here, click that subscribe button to just be alerted as soon as I post any more videos at all on this topic. If there's a topic you would like to see as well, comment below. And until the next video, keep pushing those limits.